Okay, it's Peter. Welcome to Groovemakers Plus, which is about using Unison's beat makers. So a couple of people in the Unison forums asked me to do a slower and simpler explanation of how to integrate and get the very best out of combining all three, which is Midi Wizard, Bass Dragon and Drum Monkey, as well as getting the best from each one and integrating each one with your own sounds and your own musical ideas, MIDI files, that sort of thing, and I guess ultimately, leading to production. So shout out to Robert and Salters, better known maybe as DJ Stakeout, and Jason, and whoever else I might have missed. So that's the plan. I want to keep these to 20 minutes because I could go on for hours, but I want to do 20 minutes, and I want to try and do it with giving you one kind of action plan for each episode. So in other words, I want you to go away and do implement what we're talking about, basically. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully this is working. Hopefully the audio will come out, all that sort of stuff. I've set my timer and I think we're off. If you want to get more stuff, more whatever, then you can go to plugins.studiocookbook.com. So that's plugins.studiocookbook.com/groovemakers. Okay. It's on the screen there, plugins.studiocookbook.com/groovemakers. I'll put the link, probably, I guess, in the video. That would be sensible, wouldn't it? So maybe we'll do that. Anyway, here we go. So hopefully it's working. Let's start with Midi Wizard. Okay, so the first thing is, just to explain the rationale or the context of this, is that Midi Wizard is a kind of a generator. You can call it AI or not. I don't think it's really AI. Hasn't got a neural network in it, but it's supposed to give you a professional edge because it's actually based on fragments of actual hits. So they've taken a load of hit songs, they divided it up into whatever, 1 bar or half bar or a quarter bar, whatever it is, bits, and they've taken the actual notes and rhythms and all that from loads of hits in each of the genres. Okay, and they give us a load of genres that they've done it in. And the idea of that is that you get an edge because this is stuff that's actually been used. However, I don't work for Unison, so I can say this. If that's true, then why then, when you hit generate, does it not sound like a hit? Why then, when you hit generate, does it not sound like a hit? And the answer's simple. It's because it isn't a hit. It's fragments of several hits. And I'm going to suggest in this, whatever this is, video today, that that's the issue, and that's how we're actually going to get the most out of it. So I think one of the biggest starting issues, is how do you make a song out of it? It's easy to get ideas. Endlessly to get ideas. So the other thing is that everything that I'm going to say is very genre specific, and I'm not really that much of an EDM guy. I'm more of a trance and ambient guy. So I'm actually going to pick trance and ambient genres. So if we pick, they've lumped it in with psytrance. So trance and psytrance is the same thing in their book. Now I don't know if they've suggested that's in F minor. Actually, let's just see if hip hop is different. No, I think they've just started in F minor regardless. So again, each of these would normally have a key that a key and a tempo that each genre would actually normally be within a range of. So it doesn't seem to be remembering that at the moment. What am I doing? Trance. So I'm going to do G minor. Okay, because that's we'll find out why that is later. And I didn't click the right button. There we go, G minor. So you can set your scale here. Obviously the tempo comes from your DAW. I'm using Persona Studio One, doesn't matter. They're all much the same. You know, you've got tracks down here, you've got parts over here, you've got the arrange window over there. The plugins install when they come up, you know, however they come up on yours. You know, on mine, you get the mixer. Let me get that out of the way for a minute. You get the mixer and you can add the plugins on, you know, on the mixer channels that you want. So with the effects, it's an instrument track. There's my MIDI wizard, and we're off. Right, let's stop waffling. Right, so let's just click the button. So I'm trying to get the chords as my first basis. So I'm going to go chords. You can do melody, and the hybrid is a kind of a mishmash of both. We can do full, which I think means that it's more melodic, or we can just concentrate more on the rhythm of the thing. Again, you can experiment with that, and you can do 4 bars or 8 bars. So it's all very simple. So I mean, the basic, you know, it's a no-brainer to use, right? You click the button, it even gives you the sound now, and you can just play it. All right, and every time you hit generate, you'll get something different. Okay, and let's do another one. Okay, and that's actually not bad. That's kind of trancey. You notice it did actually come up with some different chords. You know, when I did it, I tend to save mine by putting the date down, because otherwise you end up with a huge list of stuff that you can't really find. Let's call it. Let me fit that in. Auto. Okay, because you know, once you've done a few songs, if it saves, you know, you get this kind of thing where it, you know, it goes on for pages. So that's why I put the date in, so I can find them, you know, semi-easily. So I quite like that one. If we don't like the chords, but we like the rhythm or whatever, we can just regenerate the chords by hitting this button here. Okay, and it will come up with different chords and a different chord progression in the sense of how long each chord is. Let's see that one. I don't know quite why it's stuttering. And again, we could do, you know, hit the button again, get other chords. And we can change the sound here. Is that a randomized button for that? Yeah, it is. Okay, or we could have a different sound. So these have got little LFO sweeps on them, so that's giving it that kind of pulsy motion in it. And obviously changing the sound will give you a vastly different feel to the track. Let's do ambient. It's very dark, very trappy, it's quite good. Okay, and you can actually, you know, go through the sounds. You can go by category here. You know, and pick whichever sounds you want, and you can load your own samples. You just drag a wave file here. We'll go into that at another point, and you know how that works and the best way to get, you know, stuff out of that. You know, and so we can change the sound, we can change the chords, and or we can change the whole thing at once by clicking the big wizard button. Okay, so you know, it's brain dead simple. And basically you could just keep clicking the button like 100 times until you get something that you like. Okay, but people would tend to ask, yeah, but how do I make a song out of that? You know, so. Let's go with that, I think. Okay, so let's see if we can get a slightly more, there we go, it's a more intriguing chord sequence. Okay, and that's not actually bad. I don't know if it's very trancey in the sense of what I wanted to do. Let's call it 11 actually. But it's not bad. So how would we, how could we use this? How could we turn this into a song? Okay, and then, sorry, just while I'm here, I remember, if you like the chords and you don't want to change those, you can hit the lock button. If you particularly like the sound you're using, you can hit the lock button. And as you can see, you can edit the button. Edit the sound as well, and customize it as you want. So you can lock the things if you want to keep them. So in theory, nothing will happen now. I wonder if that's true. Oh, it changed the notes. Okay, but it kept the chords. Right. Okay. Okay, so that one's actually better. But the great thing about this is you've got an undo button, so you can go back to the previous one if you want. Okay, so that's not bad. I think I saved that one. So I'll keep that sound. I think I might be able to change the chords. Actually, that's not so bad today. Anyway, I've done the undo button, so I've gone back to this one so that I can use it. So the problem is I have to do it kind of live because otherwise I can't remember how I got there. So I need to pick an example that that I've generated in front of you so you can see where I'm going to take it. So one thing that I like to do is that I tend to like to do the verse as 8 bars, and then I like to do the chorus as 4 bars. So instantly that gives me some potential change, right? So in the 4-bar version I've got those chords, and in the 8-bar version I've got these chords. Although in this case it's kept the 4-bar version, I believe. It's zoomed out, so it looks different, but I think it's the same. D, E, F, G. D, E, F, G. Yeah, it's the same, and it's repeated it. So it's not very clever going from 4 to 8 bars, but at least it has doubled the length of it, which is handy. But let's see if we can get a better chord sequence, or a different chord sequence. Oh, I should take the lock off as well. I don't think I took the lock off. There we go. Let's try that. But I am keeping the sound because it's semi-workable. Yeah, there we go. So I am actually going to... I'll keep that pattern. Let's call it 12, and we'll go with this example. All right, I will change the sound, I think, a little bit. So let's I'll wait for it to save. There we go. Let's try a chord thing. It's hard to know. I don't know what all this they sound like. I'm kind of want to do that one, but let's try another one. It's a bit more dramatic, isn't it? Maybe we'll go with that. Okay, so let's go with that. I'll lock that one, and we'll keep that one. In fact, it was locked, so because I hit the button, it changed. All right, so that's that. So how do we... So this is an 8-bar version. This is just the chords only. We've done a full thing, and these are the chords that it's come up with, and we can change the chords and whatever. So what's wrong with this? Why isn't this a hit? Now, I'm going to propose to you that it's not a hit because it's random. It's really, really random. Okay, that's a good 3 chords, but then it changes Y to what? Where's the form? Where's the structure? And also, the first half is one mood. It's kind of memorabilia, if you want a better word. And this one is a bit sad, I think. Yeah. So, so why? So this is, what I would do is that I would edit this. Now you can edit this, in the thing itself, in Midi Wizard itself, or you can just drag out the Midi file and do it that way. So you just click on the button, wait for it to do its thought. There you go. And then you can literally just drag the Midi file onto the track, and then we can see, what those chords are. And it'd be a lot easier to cut it up. In the DAW, to be honest, but just because we're doing this, I think I should try and edit it in this. So basically, I like the first 3 chords, I think. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to... I didn't wait to turn it to a bracket. There we go. I'm going to change it on that beat there, and I'm going to drag that in there. And now I want to change this chord. So, we can just do it randomly. If we don't know music theory, it doesn't matter. We can just do anything. But we've got an E, F, G. Maybe I'll pick one, back nearer the E. And it's showing me in the blue what are the likely chords that would fit. So let's try the C minor. Actually, let's try the C minor. Let's see what it's like. All right, I don't know if that actually was C minor. Let me just try D minor instead. All right, that's moved. Okay. I don't know why it's so short. And also, I'm going to change my mind where it's going to change. I'm going to try and change it there instead. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, I must be overlapping and weird or something. Actually, that's not going to work. Let's undo that. I don't know what I've drawn in there. It feels like they're not changing exactly. That didn't go the way I wanted. Let's try dragging them in. All right, so this is just like your key editor in your sequencer, so you can do anything, you can drag notes, edit notes, delete notes, whatever you want to do. I don't know why that one does that weird thing there. And let's, what's that, D? All right, let's try and drag that down an octave. Yeah, but keeping it in line, of course. Right, is that a D? No. There's a D. Right, let's see if that's any better. Okay, so I don't know why I've got that funny little thing going on. Anyway, but to make this, to work the way I want, Now, right, so we've already run out of time, so that's disastrous. So let's just try and finish this idea. So let me save that again, because I've edited it. So what I'm going to do, once it's saved it, is I'm going to, I'm going to delete those notes. It might be if I go to the 4 bars, it will do it properly, but I don't know. And let's just drag that out and delete that. Right. So now I'm going to export that. Let me put it down there. Yeah. No, hang on. Oh, that wasn't a. That wasn't. Sorry, it wasn't a Midi track. Right. There we go. Right. So I'm just going to export those 4 chords. Right. Just wait for it to sync. There it goes, and then I can drag it onto my track. Now, this is probably going to be... Oh, no, it did it. So it's only done the 4 chords. So I'm going to export this in the way that my sequencer does it. So I'm just clicking on it and exporting it. I change it from music loop, which is the worst idea ever. That's connect 312, 4 bars. Okay, and I want to go into, let me stick it in the same folder that I'm using. So sorry, we're going over, but it's not a really good time to stop right now. Let's just do the next bit. Okay, yeah, subversion 12 bars, right, okay. So now I've got that idea done. Okay, so I'm just going to mute that, and it's saved out into my, into my computer. And now what I want to do is I'm going to use the, I could save that separately, I guess, but I won't bother. And I'll just undo this to get back those last chords. Right, so now we've got this. So then now the question is what is the, what's the second idea? What's our other section, our B section going to be? So... yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So also notice the way that I managed to navigate MIDI Wizard to start where I wanted is I moved my locators in my DAW. It's the easiest way I found of doing it. You can move the little funny little thing here, this little triangle, to make it start where you want, but it seems easier just to move the loop points in the DAW. Right, so let's try back one more. Right, so I think I want to go something like D minor, G minor, and then I don't know about this bit. And what's that? What's called there? No, it's that one. Yeah, so I think... I've already forgotten. Maybe I should remove that. So I think I want to start there. I wonder if I do that, it starts there. Yeah, there we are. Right, so I think I like that, but I'm going to go the other way around. I don't like the E flat. Right, okay, that's what it is. I don't like the E flat. I'm just gonna do that. Right, so what I want my B section to do is I want it to go, D minor, G minor, C minor 7, G, and yeah, G minor again. And there's not a reason why I know that. It's just I'm hearing it, and that's what I think will work. So obviously, as I said, it's a lot easier to edit it in your DAW. But just to kind of stay faithful to this, I'm just gonna try and do it in this. Now the only thing about this one. Okay, so I want this chord to be over there, and the easiest way to do that is to copy and paste it. So I'm just done Control-C, or you can right mouse click and do copy. It reminds you that the command is Control-C. Then I just position my cursor where I want it to be, and then I can either do Control-V, like it reminds me here, or I can right click the menu and do paste there. Okay, so that's that done. And we're going to bring that there. And then this is, I don't know if I've done that 100% right. I think I have. I might not do. I've done that. Anyway, we'll see. And then I want these two little things here. And I want this to be all the way over here. Right, and then we're going to start it at 5. Okay, so if we're starting from 5, okay, we're doing another 4-bar thing. Yeah, that's kind of right. I don't like the timing of that, so I'll just bring that back there. See if that works. Yeah, so I like that. I like that. I don't know why I've got those funny little muted notes there. Anyway, so we don't need the first. We've already exported the first half. Let's just bring that back there. Let's see if we can. Actually, I don't know if it matters if it's in the second half. Right. So this is going to be my B section. Yeah, I've actually repeated the chord there, which I didn't mean to do. But anyway, it works. So I'm going to export that one. I'm going to go down there. So let's do the same thing. Just click on Export MIDI. Give it a second to think, and then let's drag it onto that track there. Okay. So, yeah, and brilliantly it did do. I don't know what that bit is. Anyway, we'll just cut that end bit off. I must have left a note in accidentally or something. Right, there we go. Yeah, I think it's more like that actually. Right, so what I've got is these two bits here. So I've got my A section and my B section. All right. So I'm running over. I'm sorry. Let's just export that one. Actually, I don't think it has to be unmuted, but I'm just going to mute it in case. I'm going to export that as a MIDI file as well. All right, it's not a music loop. I always fall for that. Right, and we call this. We call that B. Okay, so now what I've got is I've got my A section and my B section over here. Okay. Now the reason that I've done that is that if I don't want to trigger MIDI Wizard externally, from the DAW, I want MIDI Wizard to do what it wants to do. Then I need to scrub what I've done, basically. And then what we can do is you can drag your MIDI file into this, and then it will detect the chords that we've got in the MIDI file, and and use those. Now you can't. Well, it depends on the DAW. In some DAWs, you might be able to drag that into the MIDI Wizard window, right, like that. You might be able to in some DAWs. In my DAW, you can't. So I can either do it from the file browser in the sequencer, or I can use my desktop, or my Explorer, to drag them in like that. Okay. I wonder where the notes are. Huh. It's done the chords, it hasn't done the notes. Let's see about that. Let's just initialize that again. Right, let's bring that in. Oh, it didn't not do that before. Let's see if that one wants to go in. That's weird. Last time I tried that, it did actually import. Let's just double check that they're there. There they are. Okay, last time I did it that worked, so that's a bit embarrassing and awkward, but anyway. So I wonder why. There's a Midi file, isn't it? Oh, I don't know what that other bit in there is. That's strange. That's strange. Okay. Right, I might need to go and work out why that's not working and do that in another video. But anyway. Why is that not happening? Anyway, I think the chords are right. I was expecting the notes to go in. The last time the notes went in. Yeah, I think that's what we've got. Yeah, maybe I imagined the notes going in last time. Anyway, I think they're the chords. Although I actually want both of them. So let me. Sorry, I didn't mean this to drag on. Right, let me just merge these two together as my A and my B. Right, let's export that again. Right, it's definitely a Midi file. Let's just call it. C. Okay, let's see if that goes in. Right, so let's just mute that. I mean, I could trigger Midi Wizard from the door, but I just wanted to kind of do it in one. But maybe it's not going to let me. Right, I don't know what that is. Anyway, right, I think there's the chords. D minor, D minor. Yeah, there we are. So it's done the chords. So maybe let's. I just thought the notes would be in there. Anyway, let's lock the chords. They are locked. Let's have. Oh, I lost that sound that we had. Anyway, never mind. And let's generate a rhythm. So let's do a trance thingy again. Okay, he thinks it's in E flat major now. Anyway, let's do the chords for 8 bars. Right, should keep the chords and just put a rhythm in. Okay, there we go. So that would be my A section. This is my B section. Yeah, in an ideal world, I think I'd put the D minor in the middle, but okay, let's just do that. So bring that over, and then this is C minor 7th, if it will actually change. C minor 7th. Where's the 7th gone? There it is. Yeah, I think it's done it. Right, let's see if it sounds like. Right, there's my A section. Yeah, that's kind of all right. And what I might do is I might just invert that note. And what note is that? It's a G, I believe. Is it a G? I think it's a G. Right, let's take it up to G. There. Let's see if that inversion sounds better. Because it means it's the same chord, but I've rearranged the octaves of the notes, and it will sound like it's a different chord. Right, here's my A section. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I kind of like it. Let's pretend that that's what we want. Let's pretend. Let's go C. All right. So now we've got that. And now, I probably should have them in different halves. But anyway, let's say that's right. So now what the next step would be, we would assign it to group 1. So why am I doing that? Because I've got another instance of MIDI Wizard down here, which I'm going to do the lead for. And so I'm just going to put it in group 1, and it will take the chords from the other instance. Now it hasn't changed the styles, so I'm just going to put that in manually. It has detected the chord again. I only want the melody this time. Let's try lead. Okay, and we'll lock the chords, and let's try see what this is like. Okay, so that's semi all right. It's not great. So we could just regenerate part. Again, I didn't want to cover this because it's getting too long, but we can just select that part and regenerate only that bit. And let's see what that's like. Okay, and that's not bad. And I haven't got time to do this second bit, but we could do a similar thing with that. So that's actually all right. Let's pretend it's all right anyway. It's not exactly what I wanted, but never mind. And this is the melody. All right, so we'll have to leave it there because we're running out of time. But you can see a couple of things that are going on. So one, I've used 2 instances of the thing so that I can have one doing the chords, one doing the melody. You could, of course, just use one instance and drag it over the audio and fix it. But I want the 2 tracks so that I can change my mind. And obviously, I know I've not finished the second half yet, so that's why. So we've run 2 instances of it, and we've used the group feature to link them together. Now, I think it's important that you make sure that none of them are in a group if you want to change the source. Because I think if I made this group 2, then sorry, I haven't explained that right. If I made this group 1 and changed it, it might, and I changed the chords, it might change group 1 back. So I think you need to be a little bit careful about that. So I tend to turn the grouping off if I'm going to change, either one of them, to be honest, but particularly the chords. Okay, so let's pretend that we've got, this is our first half. Okay, and again, the reason why this isn't working is because this is totally random and there's no form or structure in it. They're all great parts, all the bars are nice, but they don't fit together. All right, so if I had more time, I would edit this bit out and I would use that as an intro or a bridge or something like that, and I would repeat one of these and maybe edit it slightly so that it fitted, so that there was a structure and a form to it. So, what it comes up with is great, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with what it comes up with, but they don't necessarily fit. And so to make a whole song out of what it generates, you can see what I've basically done is I've taken an 8-bar phrase and I've cut it in half basically, and I'm using one half as an A section and one half as a B section, and I've actually even edited the chords in the A and the B so that I can get a structure that I want. Okay, and that's why it's now different to what it generated and why it's starting to be more like what I intended. Okay, now I'm going to do another video where I'm going to link to some reference examples, which is what was in my mind that I wanted, and you'll see that they're nothing like what Unison think is trance and psytrance. Well, it may be like psytrance, but anyway, but not like the trance anyway. And that's the point, and that's why we have to kind of calm down and stop the randomness of Midi Wizard. You know, as I say, all the bits are great, but they're so random that there's no structure. It's like using, you know, great words, like you're having a great poem, but, you know, they're completely random order. You know, there's no story behind it. You know, because we've gone from calm to mad to calm to, you know, calmer. It, you know, it doesn't make any sense musically. And if you listen to any hit, you'll notice that there's a lot of repetition and expectation, and then subtle changes. And that's what Unison doesn't do. It doesn't do subtle. And so what I've done today is I've tried to make it more subtle by using, you know, less of the chords it generated, by repeating some of the bits so that it does less, you know, variety of the rhythm and the melody and that sort of thing. Okay, so I'll have to stop it there because we're running out of time. But let's just hear that thing again. Yeah, and the other thing that's important you've noticed is that it can generate its own chords, and you can edit. No, that's the wrong thing. You can generate the chords, and you can edit the chords, and you can even, you know, draw in the chords manually, effectively by, you know, typing them in, and it's showing you what chords will fit in that scale. So everything's great. But if you want to, you can, on a good day, well, it is working. You can drag the chords in. That's right at the bottom now. You can drag the chords in, you know, from another source. So if you've got chords from another source, you can drag them in. I thought the notes and the rhythm came in. I swear that happened when I did it yesterday. But anyway, today it didn't. But yeah, you can drag the chords in. I'll close that. Brilliant. Yeah, and get your own chord sequence in there from another source, okay? So you can generate them. It will generate them, or you can import them, or you can, from either of those, you can edit them, okay? As you see, we can, you know, edit the chords and then dial in another one, whatever we want to do, and the undo button's my best friend. And that's it. So what the task that I want you to do, today is I want you, well, just to do what I did at the start. So generate an 8-bar phrase of chords only. Well, pick your genre. Okay, ideally have a reference in mind. Pick your genre. Do an 8-bar chord version, and find at least 3 chords, or 4, 3 or 4 chords, or 5, 3 or 4 or 5 chords out of the 8 that it might give you. Or, you know, well, let me phrase that, 3 or 4 or 5 bars out of the 8 bars it gives you, of which there may be, you know, 1 chord, or there might be 8 chords, or there might be 16 chords. You know, it's going to do what it wants to do. But pick, you know, a subset of chords, let's put it in English, get a subset of chords that work for your A section. Okay, and just do that. And then if there is a B section in that same thing, then, you know, then find the B section as well. If not, of course, you can generate a new pattern and find a B section out of that. Okay, and again, you could use, you know, the old chords. You could lock the chords and keep the chords. You could import new chords. You could edit the chords. You could take a subset of the chords, you know, and we could move this C minor back so that it started there, or whatever you want to do. You kind of seen me do it. I know I didn't explain it fantastically, but you've seen me do it. And so you end up with an A and a B section of just the chords. Don't worry about the melody yet, because we haven't finished that discussion yet. Just to get it simpler so that you're in control of the story, you're in control of the arc, and it's not so random. Okay, because what it does is great, but it's random, and you need to put some form and structure back into it, basically by simplifying it. And that's the beauty of using an 8-bar phrase to get a 4-bar phrase out of it, because we've got double the material that we can use. And and if one of the chords doesn't fit, you can just change it. It's not hard, but the act of you changing it, the act of you deciding on the subset, the act of you changing the chords or bringing your own chords in, that's what makes it human again, and that's what really makes it have much more potential of being a hit than the randomness, albeit great, the randomness of Midi Wizard. Okay, so that's it. So I'll do more in the series. If you want alerts, if you go to plugins.studiocookbook.com/groovemakers, so it's plugins.studiocookbook.com/groovemakers, you can sign up and get notified of the other things. I haven't got a dedicated channel for this as such, so that would be the best way of doing it. And I will put resources and things on there. There will be a paid resource kit if you want it. Obviously, you don't have to buy it, but there's an option if you do. If you want more stuff or deeper tutorials, then that will be part of it in the end. It's not there now, and that's why there's nothing to buy today either. And I will put some resources, which I'm calling the show notes, up there as well for free. Where they make sense, and it would be helpful for you to have them. So it might be like a PDF step guide or something like that, or just the bullet points of what I did or something like that. But again, that's not there today. I'll try and do that in a couple of days. So again, if you go back to that URL in a couple of days, then I'll put the show notes up there. Over time, we'll build up some resources, and over time, we'll build up some resources that are worth buying, I hope. But hopefully that helps, all right? So you've seen how I use it in action. You'll see that I haven't finished it, so it's not instant button push and you're done. That's the point. It's also not that these are inspiration. It can actually be the stuff you use, but you need to moderate, you need to edit, you need to be the editor of what that stuff is, and that's really where the music making comes in. So even when Jay Dilla does samples from records, on his MPC, what's he doing there? He's not performing any of the bits. He's taking the best players in the world, like George Benson or whatever, to play guitar on his track for him, and he's taking a little snippet. But he's using the editorial. He's the editor. He's deciding what goes when and where, and that's really what Midi Wizard is going to do best for us as well. So instead of having to steal stuff off of vinyl and not pay, the artist for it. I'm not going to go into politics of all that, but you're not going to get a copyright infringement using a Midi Wizard loop, because they're effectively original, and when you edit them, they're even more original. So we get out of the copyright issues, but we have to use the same editorial art. That's the art, that's the skill, that's what Jay Dilla brought to the table. He brought his editorial choices, the bits that he found, and then, as I say, when he used them and where he used them, and and even what they were, because he could transpose them or cut them up and whatever. And again, look at what we're doing. We're taking the MIDI files, which is MIDI instead of sound, but we're deciding where they go, when they go, and we're editing them and we're changing them to our editorial taste. And that's really what being an artist is. Okay, so I don't think anyone can really complain about the quality of what Midi Wizard outputs. It's musical. It's all to a set of musical rules, but it's not structured. It has no editorial taste, and it's not. This isn't a version where you can say. Type in a particular artist's name and go, give me a sound-alike. It doesn't do sound-alikes. It does, genre flavours, really. And then all the skill is in your editorial choice of what goes where and when and what it is, and and how it sounds and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I've gone on way too long, but it didn't seem a good point to stop it. Now you've got your task: generate 8 bars, find find 4 bars that you like out of that as a subset. If you can, find the B section as well. If not, you can generate another one and generate the B section out of that. That's it. Bye-bye for now. If you want to know more, plugins.studiocookbook.com/groovemakers. Hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments where you want me to go or what I've not covered or whatever. I do tend to waffle, but, whatever, let me know. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.